I hope all of you will stop listening to your worldly music, whatever genre it is. It's worldly and ran by Satan, because Satan runs this world and he runs Hollywood. Even a lot of the Christian music is ran by Satan. If a Christian artist goes through a record label, or any artist goes through a record label, that's how you know that these people are being used by the Freemasonic cult that runs the world. A lot of these artists are initiated into societal orders. They might be witches, they might be warlocks. They're having to do rituals behind closed doors to receive fame, money, power, all that, to be famous. Yes, a lot of them are actually witches and warlocks. Even a lot of the Christian artists, even, right? Some of them are witches and warlocks. And so they're acting like they're serving the Most High God, and they're not. 2 Corinthians 11:14-15 talks about Satan masquerading and coming as an angel of light. And it's no surprise that his ministers also masquerade and come as an angel of light. And that's what they're doing. They're just making entertaining music. They're not really feeding the sheep. They're not telling the truth. And that music is attached to different spirits. So you're coming into agreement with false spirits. It's going to dull you down. That's going to deceive you. And this music is idol worship. It's idolatry. We're serving other gods. We're being worldly. We're not being set apart and holy. I know the music is very energetic. It's hypnotic. It sounds good. I used to listen to this music all the time as well. It was a god for me. I had to give it up, right? And, it took some time. I was on and off. And when I was listening to that music, once I knew it was wrong, I knew that I wasn't serving God. I knew that I was doing, my own thing. And I had to stop doing that, right? So you got to be real about it and stop acting like just because you believe in the Messiah, or, you follow other commandments. Maybe you follow the Sabbath day and you're like aware of truth, but you're still listening, you're holding on to your musical idols. Well, that's going to hurt your relationship with God. And ultimately it's going to lead to destruction because you have idols in your life, right? So we got to repent from this worldly music and the Christian music like Lauren Daigle, Toby Mac, KB, the rapper, or Lecrae. All these artists, right? They're propped up for a reason. They have influence for a reason. And even some of these other smaller artists that, they're still signed with record labels, but they're smaller, like maybe a kind of a small following, just a couple thousand, maybe YouTube subscribers, or they have, I don't know, like maybe they just go to some small events and do some stuff. Listen, a lot of these people, you look at their album covers and stuff, they have Masonic symbolism. Their artwork, or their portraits, their photos, they have Masonic symbolism. Like, they're involved, right? They're being used by the cult. So we can't be listening to them. It's really crazy, this deception. I mean, I've grown up knowing people that are involved with these high-level families, and their children and the whole family, basically they say they're Christians, they act like they're Christians, but they're involved in the entertainment system at a high level, and they're involved in the Masonic order, but they're acting like Christians. And then some of their family members, they get into Christian music, right? And then they make worship music, and then people that listen to them think it's just such an amazing thing. They're serving the Lord and they really care, and it's all genuine and real. No, this is a fabricated reality, man. It's a deception. And it's hard to even tell people that, because that's how massive the deception is. People have no idea, right? Just regular people of the faith listening to people that they find on YouTube or Spotify or whatever, and they're Christian artists, and they're making worship music, and then they would never ever think that they're a deceiver in disguise, a false minister of light, a witch putting spells on you. And especially if they're not super famous. But if you look into them or who they're connected to, you see very clearly what they're involved in, right? And you connect things together. So got to be really careful. In this music, whenever I hear certain music, like pop songs or rap songs come on, where if I'm out somewhere or whatever, and they come on, and I it, it can get in your head for a reason. But what I'm saying is, this music, if you really start to really feel about it, the way I feel, it makes me feel super empty, really empty, because I know that the music does leave you empty and yearning for more. It can't satisfy you. A lot of people use the music to try to satisfy themselves, to feel good, to feel something, to escape from trauma, pain, and whatever they have going on. And music inherently isn't bad, right? It just has to be in spirit and truth. So you got to find out what works for you with the music. Personally, myself, I really don't listen to much music at all. That's just my convictions and where I'm led. But, you know, not all music is bad, just a lot of it is. So you got to find that out for yourself. But isn't that interesting? Like if you turn away from the music and then you start hearing it being played and certain, maybe you used to like those songs, it's almost like a nostalgia, but it's like, it's really painful and it hurts. And, yeah, these are like other spirits behind this music. And then, yeah, it just makes you feel really empty and not satisfied at all. And I want to be satisfied. And that doesn't come from that. So you're really delaying the process of knowing the creator when you hold on to this music. Oh, but it's just music, who cares? It's not just music, it's spiritual war. It's witchcraft putting spells on you is what it is. So, you know, a lot of Christian girls listen to Taylor Swift. Well, Christian girls that listen to Taylor Swift, you guys are headed for destruction, right? The Most High is not hearing your prayers when you listen to Taylor Swift, right? Or Beyonce or whoever. That's just an example. A lot of Christian girls, though, listen to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, either she's not a Christian. It's either two options. A, she's a witch, or B, she's actually a man. She has male genitalia, right? You got to look up EGI. Again, EGI, go research EGI. Really crazy that a lot of these famous people on the world stage, they're inverted. Their gender's inverted. They're acting like this type of gender, but they're the opposite. And, yeah, it's really crazy. It's total deception, messing with people's minds, mocking the creator, mocking humans. And so it's either one of the two. A lot of people in the truth think that Taylor Swift is a guy. That's what I think is true. If that person isn't a guy, they're a witch regardless. So that would shock Christian girls' minds. They have no idea because they haven't been taught the truth, because they've been taught lies in Christianity. They've been taught banana milk sermons. They haven't been taught the truth. They haven't been, the lies haven't been broken down to them. And if they were broken down to them, would they care? Probably not. They would just call it crazy or something and go back to their belief system. That's the problem, is that even if you tell a lot of these people, they don't want to accept it because they don't want to change, right? They don't want to hear about how they've been wrong. They don't want to humble themselves. They don't want to come into the truth. And that's really sad because these are human beings who have hearts and minds and emotions. And to think that people will be, not have life for their sins, I mean, that's hard to think about if you really care for people, but that's what the scriptures say. And so if you don't repent from listening to Taylor Swift, lake of fire it is, destruction, until the Most High is done with you. In the lake of fire, you'll be destroyed, right? No more. So that's the seriousness of it. You got to get really serious. And that music doesn't satisfy you. So why are we listening to it, right? Yeah, I hope all of you will come out of this worldliness and be separate